In this tutorial, we provide a broad overview of the standard screen and the different options available. Specific and more detailed tutorials will focus on each of the steps individually. When you enter the standard screen, you will see two optional ways to continue. The first is to use the Quick Start approach, which sets default options and then moves you directly into the question screen. The second approach requires you to specifically select the mode, standards, and assurance level customized to your facility and systems. We will first check the Quick Start method. All you need to do is click on the Quick Start button and the tool will set the default parameters and move you immediately into the question screen, where you can start answering questions. If the Quick Start method is selected, the system uses the questions-based mode, the key questions, and a low security assurance level. The most common approach for organizations performing an assessment is to select the approach, standards, and assurance levels specific to the needs and characteristics of the facility. As mentioned earlier, specifics will be provided in more detailed tutorials. In this video, we will go through the steps related to the standard screen. The first step is to choose the mode to use. The questions mode is the default, and if selected, will cause the tool to present questions in a consolidated and simplified manner. The requirements-based mode will cause the system to present the requirements from the selected standard exactly as it is written. The third option, Cybersecurity Framework, allows the user to perform a risk-based cybersecurity evaluation using the NIST Cybersecurity Framework and a customized question set. It is discussed in a separate video tutorial. We will choose the questions-based mode. In Step 2, we can pick a single standard, or several, to use the assessment. In the questions-based approach, all similar questions will be presented only once if multiple standards are selected. In the requirements mode, each standards will be presented fully, regardless of overlapping topics. For this example, we will leave the universal questions selected and add any additional questions from the NIST Special Publication 800-82. In Step 3, we will determine our security assurance level, or SAL. The default value is moderate. We can determine our SAL by either using a consequence-based approach or by using a NIST-based approach. We will first look at the general Sal approach. Notice that the Sal is based on injury to people and monetary costs based on capital losses, general economic impact to the site, and community in general, and environmental damage. The impact is both on and off-site. To identify the impact of an event, simply move the slider bar across to match the appropriate range of values. When you are finished, click OK, and the level will be propagated to the standard screen. We could also use the NIST approach to determine the SAL. In this tutorial, we will go directly to Step 2 and select several information types. Based on our selection, we are moderate in the areas of confidentiality, integrity, and availability. We will answer the specific questions under Step 3. Question 2 is answered yes, and as a result, our integrity and availability values are adjusted to high. This is the high water mark, and so the NIST level is now high. We can now click OK to close this form and return to the standard screen. Our new SAL, based on either the general SAL or the NIST SAL, is now high. The SAL will either limit or expand the number of questions presented in the assessment. In our example, additional questions will be required due to our need for additional rigor, as compared with the original moderate SAL. This value can be overridden at any time if you want to either increase or decrease the rigor and number of questions in the assessment. With the SAL selected, you can immediately begin answering questions, or create a network diagram. This concludes the standard screen tutorial.